Tina wears a nightie that she likes to wear in her sleep. She's scared shitless, then out pops a sheep. Next she's in a boiler room, she's getting stalked by a creep who pops up behind her. This creep is a sneak. Tina has a scream and wakes up from the dream. The fiend has a scheme, he slashed at the teen. The monster she saw had a face like Pizza Hut, and her mum thinks she should get her fingernails cut. It seems Nancy has also been seen by the boogeyman inside this bad dream. Rod turns up, he stops them feeling any lower. Tina says his cock is small.
Up yours with a twirling lawnmower.
So the teens have a sleepover. Rod gets a couple of fucks whilst Glenn has to listen.
Reality sucks.
The kids are asleep, the nightmare's back on. Freddy appears and makes his arms very long. Tina is scared by this odd-looking sod who shows off his blades and says,
"This kid's gone."
Tina makes a run for it. Freddy's style disturbs. He jumps out from behind a tree and cuts off his fingers. Tina keeps on running, but she cannot win this race. And in self-defense, she pulls the skin right off Freddy's face. Krueger makes 4 incisions, then swings Tina around. Her body whacks Rod, who falls down to the ground. Tina is screaming as she's dragged across the ceiling. Rod is fucking useless as he watches bitch bleeding. Then Freddy drops her like a piece of old trash. It lands on the bed and produces a blood splash. Nancy's traumatized, but she decides to go to school. Everyone wants to know if she's got some sleep.
I'll sleep in study hall.
On the way to school, Rod gives Nancy a jumping.
Don't look at me like I'm some fucking fruitcake or something.
Nancy's dad, Lieutenant Thompson, arrives to arrest the suspect. Nancy's nerves are at breaking point and clearly she is upset. Nancy nods off like her head has jet lag. She sees Tina talking to her inside a body bag. Tina calls Nancy's name. Nancy follows her out of class, knocks the monitor on her ass, who asks,
"Where's your pass?"
She follows the blood trail to Freddy's boiler room, a place where the son of a phaser maniacs met his doom. Krueger was a victim of severe child abuse. Now his blades have an additional use. Pain, pleasure, self-infliction. His head is a mess. Cuts open his chest, in which the maggots infest. He raises his glove. The blades are ready to rape her fresh flesh.
Come to Freddy.
Freddy waggles his tongue. This girl may be young, but she's definitely not dumb. She avoids harm by burning her arm. Awakes in the class screaming, causing alarm. Then she visits Rod in jail for both them. The dream lingers. He confirms what she already knows.
He had nice fingers.
That night, Nancy goes for a soak in the bubbles, but up pops the finger knives and it's the start of her troubles. Freddy pulls her under, tries to drown the dozy cow, but she manages to get out of the tub somehow. Glenn sneaks in the bedroom. He watches God over her as she goes into a sleep to search for Freddy Krueger. She goes to the jail and sees Freddy walk through bars. Then out of Tina's mouth a centipede slithers. Krueger chases Nancy, the carpet gets all stodgy, and Freddy pretends to be Tina with a face mask that's dodgy.
This is just a dream, he isn't real!
Wrong, bitch, this is the real deal. As Freddy cops a field, the alarm clock rings, saving Nancy's butt. Glenn gets a bollocking for not waking Nancy up. The kids go to jail to check on Rod Lane, but he too becomes the victim of Krueger's vicious game. Nancy gets help at the Institute for Sleeping Disorders. They attach her up to electrodes which are connected to dream recorders. Nancy has a dream, a nightmare that is fat. She returns from the dream with Freddy Krueger's hat. Nancy is an insomniac. Her mum is a booze abuser. She reads the name inside the hat. It says
Fred Krueger!
Nancy's mom says Freddy's dead. She thinks Nancy's weak, but Nancy's determined and shouts,
"Screw sleep!"
Later, Nancy's mum gets drunk and gives her kid Disturbia by telling her Freddy Krueger was a
Filthy child murderer.
The killer was caught, but Freddy was still dangerous.
All the lawyers got fat and the judge got famous.
But Nancy gets the telephone and her plan from out of the dream she'll bring Krueger, and then they'll win cause
You whacked the fucker and we got him!
with the plan in place to fuck up the creep, Nancy then warns
Don't fall asleep.
She tries to call Glenn, but the line is hung. Then the telephone rings and it gives her the tongue. She realizes Glenn's in danger and she goes on the run. But the house has been locked up by her mom. Glenn's the next one, dead as he gets sucked into the bed and vomited back out as a liquid that is red. Nancy's had enough. She plans her vengeance.
Exactly midnight.
She tells her dad to make an entrance. Now she's focused, her emotions are cold. She makes traps like this exploding light bulb. She's ready for the final battle, then she sleeps to bring it on. Goes to the boiler room and finds the finger knives are gone. She needs to find Freddy, else she will blow this. She sees him by the roses and they wrestle on the trellis. Now it is the awakening. Freddy gets a hammer in. He falls down the stairs before landing on his chin. Freddy is pissed. He's gonna give her what she's due.
Let you and kill.
He walks into the tripwire, causing the light bulb to explode. Meanwhile, that stupid cop watches on across the road. In the basement, Nancy doses Freddy with some flammable liquid. The fiend's a freaky, burns alive, his punishment's deliciously wicked. The cop arrives, they break down the door, but Freddy's gone ahead. He's upstairs cooking Nancy's mum on a double bed. Lieutenant Thompson grabs a blanket and puts it on the fire. They watch the charred corpse of Miss Thompson retire. Her dad leaves, but the nightmare on the street returns to meet Nancy by coming out of the fresh bed sheet. Nancy has no fear, Freddy thinks she is bluffing. She disses him to his face and says,
You're nothing.
she turns her back on the monster, who is very pissed. He lunges for her but fails cause he ceases to exist. Now it seems things have returned to normality, but this ain't a normal reality. If you want more Freddy, then you're in for a treat, cause the nightmare never ends down on Elm Street. This is God. This is God. This is God. Money, money, money. This is God. Prime time, bitch. This is God. He's the son of 1,000 maniacs. The son of 1,000 maniacs. The son of 1,000 maniacs. Prime time, bitch. The son of 1,000 maniacs. This is God. This is God.